In this video, I will continue talking about multiples and lowest common multiples. The video will cover F3 and F4. In F3, we will be writing down the multiples of bigger numbers. So for example, to write down the first four multiples of 13, we do it the same way as we did it in F1 and F2. We start with 1 times 13, which is 13, and then 2 times 13, which is 26, 3 times 13, which is 39, and 4 times 13, which is 52. If you can't do this in your head, that's not a problem. You can use column multiplication to work it out. So for example, if I want to work out 4 times 13, I can just do 13 multiplied by 4 and do it the column method way. 3 times 4 is 12, remainder 1, 1 times 4 is 4, add 1 is 5. So you get the same answer, 52. Now pause the video and try to work out the first four multiples of 23. You can use column method to help you. The first multiple of 23 is 23, and then 46, 69, and 92. Before we move on to solving F4 type problems, let's look at if there's anything we can use to our advantage. We can use patterns in the times tables, or the multiples of numbers, to help us spot multiples of a given number. For example, the 2 times table contains only even numbers, and we can say that every even number is a multiple of 2. So to decide whether a number is a multiple of 2, we can just decide whether it's an even number. Remember, even numbers end in 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0. To spot the multiples of 3, it's slightly more complicated. The rule there is that if we add up the digits, for example, 1 plus 8, then the resulting number, 9, is a multiple of 3. So we can say that a number will be a multiple of 3 if the sum of its digits is a multiple of 3. The multiples of 5 are very easy to spot. We can say that a number is a multiple of 5 if it ends in 0 or 5. And lastly, a number will be a multiple of 10 if it ends on a 0. So we can use these four rules to help us solving F4 problems where we'll have to spot the multiples of a given number. So let's now see if we can select the multiples of 4 from this list. When we are selecting multiples of 4, remember that the question we should be asking ourselves is whether there's a natural number which we multiply by 4 to get this number. So for example, 8 we know is a multiple of 4 because 2 times 4 equals 8. Other numbers which are multiples of 4 from this list are 16, 20, 100, and 120. There's a big number here, 723, which is not that easy to decide, but we can realize that multiples of 4 are always even numbers. So 723 is definitely not a multiple of 4. Next, we will have to select the multiples of 3 from the list. The multiples of 3 will be the numbers which are in the 3 times table, or we can use the rule which we learned earlier, which is that the sum of the digits of the number have to be a multiple of 3. So from this list, the multiples of 3 are 45, 120, and then 723, we can use our rule. 7 plus 2 plus 3 equals 12, which is a multiple of 3. Therefore, 723 is also a multiple of 3. I checked by adding the digits. So now pause the video and try to pick the multiples of 10 from the list. To pick the multiples of 10, we can use our rule from earlier. Every number which ends in a 0 is a multiple of 10. So 20, 50, 100, and 120. These are all the multiples of 10 from this list.